Good morning students. In the previous video we have completed the concept of resistance R, resistivity rho, conductance G, conductivity small k, and afterwards also we have completed the concept of molar conductivity. Molar conductivity is indicated by lambda. Molar conductivity is related to electrical conductivity by the formula lambda is equal to 1000 k upon C. We have already solved the problems of numericals based on that formulae, that is molar conductivity and conductivity. Also we have completed the Cauchy's law for independent migration of ions and numericals which are based on Cauchy's law of independent migration of ions. That part also we have completed. In the previous video only we have given all the numericals, all the formulas, that part already we covered. Now today's lecture, the conductivity, electrolytic conductivity called as a K, and molar conductivity called as denoted by lambda. How conductivity and molar conductivity can be determined experimentally, that we have to discuss. So measurement of conductivity. This measurement of conductivity can be done by using the apparatus called as a Wheatstone's meter bridge. In physics also you have Wheatstone's meter bridge concept that already you learn in 11th standard in physics. Again there is a repetition of the same Wheatstone's meter bridge. Now how to calculate the conductivity by using the Wheatstone's meter bridge? For that purpose the resistance of the electrolyte solution whose resistance is unknown. First we are finding out the resistance of the solution. From resistance of the solution we are going to find out the conductivity of that solution whose resistance is unknown. Now the apparatus or device which is used to find out the resistance of that solution, that unit is called as a conductivity cell. So what is conductivity cell? A conductivity cell, it consists of a glass beaker, or it is made up of a glass in which two platinum electrodes which are coated with platinum black, see at the lower part they are coated with platinum black, are immersed. So it consists of an electrolyte solution. Generally this electrolyte solution, we will take the example for KCl. That KCl may be 1 molar KCl or it may be 0.1 molar KCl, or we can use saturated solution of KCl. It acts as an electrolyte and we have to find out the resistance for the this electrolyte solution. So what is conductivity cell? It consists of a glass beaker or container in which two platinum electrodes which are coated with platinum black are immersed. These two electrodes are coated with platinum black. How this plating will be done? It is done by the process of electrolysis. So the coating of platinum with platinum black, it is done by the electrolysis by using the chloroplatinic acid. This is generally for 1 mark MCQ. What is used for the plating of electrolysis process for the platinum wire? How that acid is called as a chloroplatinic acid, and which concept is the electrolysis concept. So platinum wires are coated with platinum black and this coating is done by the process of electrolysis by using the chloroplatinic acid. Now this cell, so this is called as a conductivity cell. This conductivity cell, it is connected to Wheatstone's meter bridge. So this is the Wheatstone's meter bridge. It is connected to this one. See, I am showing this one. So it is conductivity cell. It is connected to Wheatstone's meter bridge. What is Wheatstone's meter bridge? It consists of uniform wire AB, and one end of the this wire AB, it is connected to the unknown resistance. See, this is the unknown resistance of the KCl solution whose resistance we have to determine. And another end of the Wheatstone's meter bridge, that is B terminal, it is connected to resistance Rx. That resistance is the variable resistance whose resistance is known variable resistance called as a Rx. Now there is a D. What is D? It is the detector which can detect the null point, and F is called as a sliding jockey. This sliding jockey is movable. It can move along the wire A and B. and at the point at which the detector D, it shows the null deflection or zero deflection, at that point we are going to find out the length. So this is the Wheatstone's meter bridge. If this, suppose this is the arrangement, this is the conductivity cell is connected in like this way. May I repeat again? What is AB is the uniform wire of Wheatstone's meter bridge. RX is called as the known variable resistance. This is the resistance for the unknown solution. Here unknown solution is we have considered as a KCL solution and whose resistance is to be measured. So unknown resistance we have to find out. AC is the, that is the alternative current we are using in this one. AC represents the source of alternative current. Now when the sliding jock is movable, when it moves along the wire AB, then suppose at point C, this is the point C, the detector is showing null deflection. Then if we measure the length AC, here it is the from wire, length AC and length CT, then we are able to find out the resistance of the solution, unknown solution. So what is that resistance? Resistance of solution. This is equal to length AC upon length B into C multiplied by this one RX. RX is the resistance, variable resistance, known variable resistance. Now length AC and CB we can measure by using the meter bridge. RX is the whose resistance is known. So by using this formula we are able to find out the resistance of solution. Resistance of solution. It is unknown solution here. Okay. If we know the resistance of solution, then again we know the formula. Which formula we are knowing? That is the conductivity formula. What is conductivity? K. K is equal to 1 upon R. That is called as the G, electrical conductance. 1 upon R into L upon A. Okay. Now here in conductivity, L upon A. What is L? L is the distance of separation of two electrodes. See here. Distance of separation of electrodes, and A is the cross-sectional area of that electrode. So ratio of distance of separation of electrode and cross-sectional area of electrode. This L upon A is called as the cell constant. It is called as a cell constant. So what we will get? K is equal to L upon A is nothing but cell constant upon R, which are resistance of the solution, which is unknown. Now using this formula, first point we are able to find out the cell constant. So what is cell constant? Cell constant is equal to K, which conductivity? Conductivity of KCl. Here we have considered the electrolyte as a KCl, into R, which are resistance of this solution. So first point, we will find the cell constant by using the Wheatstone's meter bridge. And what we have to find? We have to find out the conductivity. Which conductivity? K also, electrolytic conductivity also, and molar conductivity. So by using this method, first point we are able to find out the cell constant. Cell constant is equal to conductivity of KCl into resistance of the solution. Now second point, by using cell constant, again we are able to find out the value of K. What is K is equal to now? Cell constant upon resistance of solution. Resistance of solution. Here, resistance of solution R. This is the formula to find out resistance of solution. So, from this resistance of solution and from first cell constant, we are able to find out the conductivity. From conductivity, third step is we are able to find out the molar conductivity. How to find out molar conductivity? Molar conductivity is lambda. Lambda is equal to 1000 K upon C. This concentration will be maybe 1 molar, 0.1 molar or saturated solution. So, from this equation, we are able to find out the molar conductivity of the solution. So, this is the experimental method to find out the conductivity and molar conductivity of a solution whose resistance is unknown using the Wheatstone's meter bridge. Is it clear? So, this is the next concept related to conductivity and molar conductivity. Now, continue with the concept. in electrochemistry, in the first video only, how we define the electrochemistry. It is the branch of chemistry which deals with the study of interconversion of electrical and chemical energy. That is, it is used to convert, or it is used to study the conversion of chemical energy into electrical energy, or vice versa, electrical energy into chemical energy. A device which is used for this conversion is called as a electrochemical cell. So there are two types of electrochemical cells. First one is electrolytic cell and second one is galvanic cell. That part again I am repeating because further part is electrolytic cell that we are going to start. So in electrochemistry there are two types of electrochemical cells that again I am repeating here. One is electrolytic cell and second one is called as a galvanic cell, or it is also called as a voltaic cell. So these are two types of electrochemical cell. So what is electrolytic cell? It is a cell which is used to convert electrical energy into chemical energy. Electrical energy converted to chemical energy. Chemical energy. And what is galvanic or voltaic cell? It is a device, or it is a cell which is used to convert chemical energy into electrical energy. Electrical energy. So a device which is used to convert electrical energy to chemical energy is called as the electrolytic cell. While in galvanic cell or voltaic cell, chemical energy is converted to electrical energy. If you have to distinguish between these two ones, so first point is regarding how conversion occurs. What is second point? In electrolytic cell, anode acts as a positive electrode. Anode is positive electrode. While in galvanic cell, generally anode is negative. Anode is negative. If anode here it is positive, then cathode. Cathode acts as negative electrode. While here in galvanic cell, cathode acts as positive electrode. So that is the next distinction point. Fourth one, oxidation occurs at positive electrode. Oxidation occurs at anode. That is on positive electrode. Occurs at positive electrode. Here electrons are forcefully loses by the anode. While reduction takes place. Reduction occurs at cathode. Which cathode? Negative electrode. So it is non-spontaneously, the forcefully electrons will be removed from the anode and electrons will be gained at the cathode, which is negative electrode. While here oxidation occurs at negative electrode, because here anode is negative, while reduction occurs at positive electrode. Example, the concept of electrolysis, all non-spontaneous reaction which are forcefully occurs by supplying the electricity by external source, that process is called as a electrolysis process. So example, the reaction which takes place in electrolytic cell is electrolysis. So electrolysis of molten, that is fused, molten NaCl, sodium chloride, or electrolysis of aqueous NaCl. These are the reactions which took place in electrolytic cell. Galvanic or voltaic cell, day-to-day cell which we are using, dry cells are there. Then our car battery called as a lead accumulator is there. Fuel cells are there. Nickel cadmium cells are there. or our button cells, all type of cells which we are using every day life, that is the galvanic cell or voltaic cell. Daniell cell is a general example for the galvanic cell. So these are the examples for galvanic cell. Daniell cell, voltaic cell, nickel cadmium cell, lead accumulator, fuel cell. These are the examples of galvanic cell or voltaic cell. So generally question is there, distinguish between the electrolytic cell or galvanic cell. These are nothing but the two types of electrochemical cell. Now we will start with first one, that is electrolytic cell. So in which electrical energy will be converted to chemical energy, and anode acts as a positive electrode while cathode acts as a negative electrode. So concept of electrolysis that we are going to start now. So what is electrolytic cell? It is a cell in which electrolysis can be carried out. How electrolysis process can be carried out? In electrolysis process, the ions are produced by passing the electricity, and these ions will move towards the opposite electrode. So now we will start with the concept of electrolysis for aqueous NaCl and electrolysis for molten NaCl.